Good evening and good early morning, everybody. I am enjoying a little snack right now as I wind down. And thank you so much for the like. How are y'all doing? Hello from Chicago. Hello, the cool guy. Pyongyang is trying to think of what that sounds like. Somewhere in Asia. I'm thinking Taiwan, Thailand, Indonesia. Maybe not Indonesia. You're from North Korea. Pyongyang is North Korea. Welcome in, everybody. It's been a little minute. I have been working hard on some projects, working hard on new content. You know the deal. A VPN, eh? Thank you, Kiki Jun. Am I protesting? You missed me. Welcome back, everybody. And hello, newcomers. Mexicano love black people. Oh. These are contacts from Korea. There we go. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Let's see, how is everybody doing this Thursday? I think it's Thursday for a lot of us. Why are you putting words in my mouth, Chris? It looks like you want to get blocked. Su palabras está muy malo. ¿Por qué? I am not going to ask questions about my marital status. I am not vegan, but I do love my vegetables. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. And why are you forcing me to protest? Why don't you tell yourself or your friends to go protest? It's morning for you. Good morning. Are you all looking forward to something for the weekend? My thoughts on the deportation situation. It is based on racial stereotypes and racism because there's a ton of. I try not to have my YouTube content be too political. Try to separate my art, even though my art from my personal beliefs. Despite me talking, I mean, like it's not necessarily political beliefs, but talking about corporate life, talking about various struggles and everything. Please help us, immigrants, Black women. Why don't you ask white people to help you? They have more power in America. And I don't like being pushed to go there because I do believe in empathy and human rights. But it's interesting that a lot of other ethnicities and races want Black people to fight for them, but everybody turns a blind eye when Black people are hurt, when Black people get roughed up by the police when they didn't do anything wrong, when Black women get discriminated against. Everybody wants to turn a black eye to Black people, that we're down at the bottom of the totem pole and we're supposed to lift everybody up, but nobody wants to lend a hand for us. Why is everything skin color related in the skin color related in the US? Because that's what America was built on. And what type of car do you want to get? For the deportation situation, it's a lot of brown people being targeted, which is quite unfair. As I feel that the underlying message is get rid of the brown skinned people, just so there's more white people or space for white people to be here. When white people are from Europe, various parts of Europe, I don't see a lot of European immigrants who might be overstaying their visas being roughed up, thrown in vans and such. So that's an interesting perspective to keep in mind with everything. Um, that there was a data point that I cannot remember the person's name, and it's probably buried with a lot of like bookmarks and likes on Twitter. This was like a few years ago. I think around the, was this during the pandemic? I think around 2020, 2021, where a man of pretty decent status, person of color, by the way, they made mention that the focus is on Latino, Mexican, Hispanic immigrants, brown people, and not on European immigrants. That, like, the numbers of European immigrants that come here without the due process is maybe about the same amount, if not maybe slightly more, but that always gets overlooked. Um, so there's that. It's a slap in the face for what a lot of people have fought for in America, for what a lot of Black people fought for in America during the civil rights protests and everything, risking their lives, their families, their business, their safety and sanity in America, where even Chinese people were lynched too. Um, where everybody wants to pick and choose what they like about Black culture, but not like Black people or understand what we go through. They want us to fight for them, continuously fight, and just still more or less slave away without a thank you, that we're being demanded to pick up the fight for everybody, but yet we can't even fight for ourselves without, oh, you guys are so sensitive. Slavery was X amount of years ago, and blah, 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 blah. It's just a really interesting mindset being thought of just as a pack mule to do every type of work and emotional labor for other people and get very little in return. Uh, if you're rich in America, I guess it's good for you. Yes, a lot of the core principles of America, capitalism, corporate life is based on white supremacy. Like I've taken like lessons and classes and stuff to further learn about this, to have more empathy towards people of different ages, like the ageist, or like to prevent ageism, to prevent colorism, to prevent being rude to people of various like ethnicities and such. I'm trying to like remember all of the pamphlets that I had that I still have. Understanding like the complexities of how Black people interact with other Black people due to the systematic racism, how people interact with us due to racism, how people interact with white people due to racism, how white people can hopefully want to do better engaging with people of color. That it is a whole big thing, and it is so ingrained into the fabric of our American lives that other people overseas, or maybe they just don't care. Maybe they're not reading history. Maybe they're just like, wow, America's amazing because this one group of people made it. Everybody else sucks. We don't care about that unless it's for trends or to look cool or to sell some stuff. But that's it. Um, that a lot of that thinking is so ingrained deep into our society. And a lot of people don't want to think about that, especially if you live in certain parts of America. They do not want to teach that. So they won't like wake up and realize, or have their kids wake up and realize, or their grandkids kids wake up and realize that maybe grandpa was a slave owner. Maybe somebody did something really bad to somebody else's child just because they were Black, or just because they were Mexican, or just because they were Indian, or just because they were insert anything else. Um, it's like an illusion of perfection that they want to hold tight and have everybody else, gay people, trans people, Mexican people, Indian people, Black people, Japanese people, like within internment camps during World War. So one or two. Sorry, guys, I forgot. Um, Everybody else is an enemy except for white American people. WW2, thank you so much. You see me doing remarkable things in politics. Oh gosh, I I don't know about that. Because like even if I had some decent ideas for people, because I would think about some of this stuff a lot. Like I'm not politically inclined. Um, I never majored in it. Uh, Maybe it's just maybe that like the world could be a better place. Maybe that like that naivety type of a thing. Um, but with my ideals, even though I'm not that feisty anymore, I used to be really like, this is what I have to say. Black people get chewed up, like especially Black women. Like, oh, Kamala Harris's laugh, or what she has to say, or this woman of color. Not saying that that would deter me from what I could bring to the table, but it's a lot of politicking, no pun intended, with all of that. getting people to like you, getting people to trust you, getting people to want to be on board with your ideas and shell over like so much money and stuff to try to attempt some sort of change, and knowing that if people kind of like boo what you have to say, like turn everything down so nothing happens, you're still looked at as a problem instead of everybody saying that they didn't want um, any of the changes that you want to implement. Thank you all. Thank you. Thank you. Sometimes I feel like maybe too real. Um, because sometimes some people they like to keep that illusion up, like, oh, am I the like happy-go-lucky mammy or something, mothering people? That's not my children. Am I just a video vixen? Like people are more comfortable with stereotypes of certain people than branching out of that stereotype, which really rattles people. And my camera's making me look really greasy or dewy. I look very dewy, very moist. So that's just my ideals of having been a former hopeful dreamer. Pray for world peace and all of that, and just constantly saying that it's never going to happen because there's always some sort of agenda or some sort of issue all the time. Keep us in constant stress, keep us in constant fighting and battling and stuff. And um, we do our best to numb the pain, and we get caught up in so much. And this is where we're at now. This is where we're at. This is where we've been led. This is where the people who have more power than us, making the decisions, shaping everything, has led us, allowing us to bicker over some things that are so small and almost like private issues as well, than thinking about us like as a collective, or we do group up to other a different group, whereas okay, we might feel powerful or that group might feel powerful in the moment, but at the end of the day they're still at the bottom of the totem pole because you got all these rich people and like hidden rich people, um just kind of like out of the way. There's so much going on that our minds are just focusing on maybe cute trends. Like, don't get me wrong, I did my nails. They're super cute. They help me like not think about everyday struggles and trauma and the traumas of other people. I know it may be silly, um, but just knowing that no matter what we do, not even matter like how much we protest, unless we really like do something to make a bigger impact. Because I mean, there's been protests in Chicago, like massive ones, um, for the free choice or pro choice, if you will, and all of that. Protests for um, what's been happening recently and just like throughout all of the years and stuff that, um, yes, we're grouping up, we're showing like what we care about, but at the end of the day, there's still people sitting nice, comfy, cushy, and just like, oh, what's on TV? Oh, look at these people thinking that they're making a difference. So, um, it's a little bit pessimistic for me. Um, but I just know that there's just a lot of hypocrisy and contradictions. Like if you want to deport people, deport everybody who's breaking the rules. But you just want to rough up some Mexicans or whatever, and all this stuff, make them the enemy. Like And like for the most part, I just know that I'm black. Um, I have a name that usually gets confused for being French, Italian, and now Spanish. I feel like the French and Italian is like a reach, like a buongiorno, um, like an Inglorious Bastards or something. But like I don't mind, like I'm like, oh yeah, my name is like this one Spanish word, it means blah 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 in Spanish. And people are like, oh, and I'm like, yeah, So I think that's chill, but um, maybe just like a little silly point to throw out there. But so I really want to say something. I'm doing my best to like veer off somewhere else. Um, it's just interesting seeing things unfold and having so many people like, yeah, let's be all for this. But then at the end of the day, like, if you want to go by the rules, then you should do so 100% and not 30, 40, 50%. But why don't they want to do that? But yeah, that sort of thing is very depressing. Um, because it just makes me feel more and more disappointed. Paying taxes in a place where it might not be like the 1% level of taxes that I could be paying, if that were the case, but just that my taxes don't I don't feel like it fully benefits people who look like me in my neighborhood. That all of these neighborhoods in the downtown area, up north, they get all the special treatment, all the beautiful plants and parks, where the south side, like, oh, the streets are tore up or something. The sidewalks are messed up. So if you're an elderly person trying to get around, what, you'll trip and fall and fucking bust your head or something. Um, and I understand that for a community to thrive and look nice, the people in that community have to participate in that as well. Not throwing trash, recycling, things like that. They have to want to love that neighborhood. Otherwise, like, you're doing what they want you to do, so the community sucks ass, you know? Um, so it's like other people don't have to ruin us because if you're brought up to not care, who's that blame gonna be at the end of the day? Like it's insidious. Like it's diabolical, but also kind of genius in like a evil way. Um, but there's just things that I do think about. I try not to, um, not just to be super oblivious, but from time to time, I'll tweet about like crappy swings or whatever, things that are like super rusted that could hurt other kids. Have a kid or even an adult, on a swing side and that fucking breaks, is that person gonna get a broken arm or is that gonna be a lawsuit or whatever? Like get this shit fixed up or I'll complain about like fucked up shit in my old neighborhood where I grew up. And I've seen changes after it. It's like, oh, has my complaining done something for the city? Yay. I don't know, but at least like pinpointing stuff like that. Like I can't necessarily throw down concrete. Apparently, that's like a really hard job. You have to really know like math and measurements and stuff. But I damn sure am gonna like, hey, this is fucked up. Somebody can fucking trip over this shit. Um, maybe that's what I should do one of these days, guys. Go out ready to complain about stuff. Ah, gosh. But yeah, those are some of my scattered 2 cents. Try not to talk too much about things. Um, just get like that little feeling, right? Just like, hey, let's reel that back a little bit. Um, but yeah, it's a fine line because, like, do I just do pop culture? Do I talk about like corporate life and the struggles people can go through? Do I stay silent about that? Um, do I mention things that, like I'm able to put better words and verbiage to some of these things um, that are unfair or just, oh, that's life, type of a thing. So, excuse me. I will say this. I will have more blog posts coming soon. I do have a blog post. What is the last one? Antidepressants are useless? Question mark. That is now available to read on my blog. That is one of my newer articles on my site. Uh, excuse me. Like I think I can make links on here. But my blog is lishamisha22.blogspot.com. I'm gonna go at least type it in the chat because I think my mods are sleeping. So it's a little surprise stream. Yeah, a bit deep for YouTube. Usually I try not to get that deep on YouTube. Um, just because it's like so politically charged and um some stuff that I talk about is already like charged enough for people, and even apparently like going to work at a basic job is rebelling. Um, learning how to do, I don't know, sewing, coding websites. I'm not that good. I can just kind of do a little bit of something. Um, learning, like I have to brush up on playing really simple piano. That stuff is considered rebelling and pisses some people off. Um, it's interesting when you don't want to maybe get married right away or you're waiting if that's your thing that pisses people off. There's just like some things I didn't know were that charged that I talk about um, on my platform as is. Let's see. Gotta go to the live, visit the channel. I wish this was a little bit more streamlined. I guess I gotta do the HTML stuff. Um, all right, so maybe that works. Get rid of this other stuff. Oh my gosh, crunchy. All right. Whew. But also, thank you all so much for liking the live. I appreciate you. What else is new? Well, I finally have 50 followers on my newer TikTok account, but I guess TikTok is going down soon, which is quite unfortunate. I should have made this account a while ago so I could go live on there, just because the streamline process for going live on TikTok was just a lot better. Just a lot easier to for people to like support my lives, support my TikToks, share them. They'll get the notification a lot better, things like that. That YouTube is dropping the ball on, especially with how old this platform is compared to TikTok. Maybe I can give them a little like, hi, hi guys, gotta pick this up a little bit. Let's see what else. Um, the weekend is coming up, so that's exciting. And I also feel that something I have to check my schedule because something also is coming up too. Um, but yeah, more blog posts are happening. Um, nail videos, things like that. Did my nails recently. Okay. Um, yeah, it's being a lot more active now because when I was working at a different place a couple years ago, I was granted the freedom for taking my mental health into consideration, as well as blogging a whole lot. I got really active on TikTok, hence all the videos on there, hence me getting 2K on there, and then getting 1,000 plus on YouTube. Hey, everybody. So, a little comeback, quite fun. I also have an interview that is a little teaser is was put up on TikTok. So if you're following me on TikTok, you might have seen me share that video, um, as they wanted to interview me because I have been doing J fashion or Gadu fashion since 2007, and just have a lot of experience with the J fashion community here in Chicago and online, making events, working with a Japanese fashion brand, working in a Gadu circle, making events and everything, doing makeovers for people, blogging and YouTubing about J fashion. So definitely check that out. I will have my own edits coming up soon. Um, I just have not sat down with that just yet. I might just be like, hey, can I use your edits, Banani? I will credit you. I will put your links in the description, like for sure. So there's that. A brand new interview. I have some new blog posts that I should be working on now. I do have the WCG Wendy City Gal Trend Alert as my newest post. And then the antidepressants are useless on my blog. Hopefully, you're able to click that blue link in the comments. Um, that takes you to my blog where you can see current content as well as previous content. The cute or the kawaii, the good, the kawaii, and the ugly. Um, and even discussion topics as well. So, more heavy hitting, more like analytical sides of things, but also wanting to keep that balance of the main purpose of the blog, fashion and style. Um, and that's also been my secret project too, the interview. I did mention it in some other lives and such. Had to keep hush hush about it. So hopefully you all will enjoy that. Enjoy it. Um, There's going to be a longer version coming out soon too that the creator Banani made mention of. So, uh, and then I'll be coming out with some new various things as well um, throughout the summer. Also, speaking of the summer, because apparently it's still considered spring. When does summer start, guys? Summer starts tomorrow until September. How about that? It is still springtime. Um, so, uh, had a soft debut for my Patreon where I have some various tiers if you would like to subscribe for more content, which I am creating more stuff as well, besides like better one on ones, like a little chit chat, style advice, things like that, which we will like coordinate a time to do that. Um, for my VIPs, my donators, my gifters, my sponsors, and everything. And all of that money gets put back into the blog. For instance, you may know of her. She is a model and she subscribed to my blog about a year ago. She found me on TikTok finally. Um, and she had donated quite a bit, and she was like, "Okay, you need like better quality video for your content, and you need a mic because you're really soft spoken. Like my voice is kind of at a softer, kind of like deep, sultry tone." So she's like, "You're gonna get a mic and blah blah blah." And she was just like, she helped me get this. So this is this is one of her contributions. So I made her a little picture as a thank you, and I give her shout outs and stuff. But yeah, a lot of that goes back into the blog, goes back into like equipment, goes into just cool stuff. Um, and also sharing posts, commenting posts, having like thoughtful feedback is definitely helpful as well. I like to hear what people think of the content or if they have interesting insight as well. And also, speaking of, I do have some blog posts that I have in my drafts of picking comments to make a blog post response on. So I think that's really cute. All right, that has been screenshotted, so we will put that online later, Shuab. That I didn't know you were incestuous. But anyway, I should have alerted my mods. Mm. But yeah, let's see. We'll show this comments. Oh, another moderator just handled this. Oh, I wonder who's here. Comments like this are unacceptable. Um, they show a lack of class and tact for not only the host, myself, my mods, as well as other commenters on this live. Okay. And like, this is why I see when people say that if they block somebody, people have to pay them like hundreds of dollars to get unblocked because of foolishness like this. That he's probably like, yes, I've irritated her, I've made a black woman mad or whatever. That he's probably so broke that this is what he does to people, and he probably couldn't even pay a $200-300 fee to get unblocked. or to talk to a woman. I digress. Um, my Patreon, I have various subscriptions on there. The link is in my bio and my descriptions, things like that. Where, let me see, because like my Patreon is launching in the summertime, and since tomorrow's summer, I'm going to start advertising that a little bit more. Oh, I like deleted my cookies. Am I still logged in? Yay. Mhm. Oh, wait. I have a membership? How come they didn't tell me? Wait, hold on, guys. Hi, Donnie. Welcome. Wait. Huh? Okay. I have a new member on my Patreon. Okay. Demo. Okay. Ta-da. Yeah, pretty much going to Patreon now due to YouTube not having that for creators that aren't monetized yet, despite me having had the monetization back in 2010 years ago, before all your Markipliers and your Jacksepticeyes and all those people. Um, but I have a Patreon since I had like TikTok subscribers and stuff because I would do lives like every day, sometimes even twice a day for like weeks. Um, so if you want more content, if you want to support the blog or whatever, that's one way. I also do commissions. I have a lot of routes for all of that. So you can definitely pick and choose. And I also express my gratitude for my followers. Um, so okay, well, definitely have to get on making even more content. Let's see. Cha-cha-cha. Yeah. What else? What else? What else? I also have some more art. Like I have signed prints. As most of my skills lie in drawing, portrait drawing, creating art, painting, a bit of sewing, things like that. This was like way before YouTube, way before the blog. Um, that I've just invested a lot of time in. Which I am available for commissions or even making prints of my art. If you all are interested, sometimes I'll do like little sneak peeks of what I've done in the past. Um, I've done live art shows before, sold art there, um, where I actually use the proceeds for those drawings from those live jazz shows, use that money that I made that night, and I would put it in a fund to buy like sanitary napkins, toothbrushes, toothpaste, soap, deodorants, and stuff like that, and make like little care bags for women at a women's treatment center where these women were leaving like abusive relationships or were battling substance abuse and everything. And I would just buy a bunch of stuff, make these little like gift bags, if you will, toiletry bags, and just like drop them off there. Unfortunately, that treatment center for women is no longer. Uh, it's like by the Green Line. I can't remember the neighborhood. I'm really bad with that. But just like, all right, boom. All right, bye guys. Hi, welcome, David. So, I would love to do something like that again, like a donation drive, as well as I'm an artist. I make things. I have commissions. If you like my video work here, my content, want to support or what have you, I do have routes for that. So yeah, yep. Um, Couple blog posts. I have some more videos coming out soon. I guess TikTok is going down. I don't know. I wish it wasn't because it's so easy to make short form content on there, and I like the editing tools. But I'll just have to look into something else and ask one of my gifters what video platform she recommends for her content. She's really good. Um, so definitely look forward to more content here on YouTube. Um, and definitely share it somewhere. I don't know what like platforms you use. You can share like a funny video or something. I would really appreciate that. Kind of get more perspectives of what people have to say, especially on topics of like fashion and those who participate in fashions that might seem like those people should not do. So, and also, I should double check. Well, 'cause I feel like I'm not double checking my snacks. I already had my snacks for the night. See, what is today, guys? Oh, it's Thursday. Oh, how about that? Okay. Wait, is it really Thursday? It is. It is. What is Thursday? Let's see. 日月日月火水木金土日月火水木曜日です。今日は木曜日の決済です。Today is Thursday morning. Yeah. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. It's Thursday. Okay. だから休みがある。It's because I have a break today. Yes. Yes. Get a little rest. Wow. Yes. 本当に、ね、長い仕事の日がやった、やったのは、ちょっと疲れた。Because I had long days at work, I'm a little tired. ちょっと疲れたんですけど、一緒にライブで話してるのは本当に楽しいと思う。嬉しいなった。 because, like, even though I'm tired a little bit, but because we're chatting together, it's fun and I'm happy.
ありがとうに。Thank you.
Gosh, that means I actually planned for something else. Forgot. Well, it doesn't hurt to make plans right now. As one should, or should try. Okay, let's put this up here. Maybe it'll catch my voice. Or maybe I might have to get a stronger mic. Say testing, testing. 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 Oh, this isn't picking up anything. But it picks it up about here. Testing, testing, testing. Hi, welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This literally has to be like right here. Well, I think I'm also like whispering too. That's why I have the microphone. I should speak softer. Do a little trial run. All right. Well, take my handy dandy notebook and write out how I want to structure my day. Definitely might have to get like maybe a boom mic or something. Um, let's see. What else should I do? Thursday. I was actually gonna do do some reading tomorrow. Um, reading, signing off on some stuff. But it looks like I have to put that off with good reason for Friday. Because like legit, like I keep my work at work. I don't have access elsewhere. Let's see, Thursday schedule. let's see. Uh, some things to do. Oh, I need to schedule something too. Let's schedule a meeting. Should have scheduled it for today, but I thought that I was going to do something else, but that's okay. Um, how are you all doing? How's it going, everybody? Just doing a little bit of note taking. Also, I wonder. Let's see. I think that's pretty okay. Hi, C. Sarah. Welcome. How are you doing this evening? This is a little bit okay. I'm going by the, what is it called? Like the visual grid rule. I mean, after all, I was a graphic design student. You would think I would showcase that knowledge a little bit more. I think this is a little bit better. Like there's nothing really aesthetic going on behind me. So oh, thank you, Caesar. Let's say, do you have anything planned for the weekend that you're looking forward to? Actually, I don't necessarily need my little sweater, just so you all know. Better. Can I start my session? What do you mean? Like fashion, makeup review? We're just chilling right now. I mean, if you want a one-on-one for your style or even things like that, you definitely sign up for my Patreon. Makeup. I already have my makeup on. I need to be washing my face. Should be editing videos, but we'll make a game plan first and foremost of what I want to get done so I don't have to think about it, so I can focus on new blog posts, so I can focus on new YouTube content, so I can focus on making this Sephora gift card giveaway fun for hitting 1K. I'm wondering if I should do it for 2K. That way I can like drum up more interest. Like, okay, 2000, I drum up the interest, make a big hullabaloo for like a live stream or something. So should put that down too. Yeah, like I want it to be fun. Like I've done some giveaways at ASIN, Anime Central, the Midwest biggest anime convention. I've done it this year and last year. Gave away gift bags of like a couple of makeup related toiletries, some lip glosses, Hello Kitty face masks, super cute stuff like that. So, like, I've done that in person. Just like, okay, this person has a really cool outfit or a really cool cosplay. Here you go. To, I want this to be a little bit more fun. I just don't want to be like, oh, okay, I made this little post. I want it to be a little bit more exciting. Let's see what else. I do have some new blog posts up, everybody. The WCG Windy City Gal Trend Report for June 2025, as well as antidepressants are useless, part two. You can find that on my blog. Put a link back down in the description. If I can find the chat. There we go. I'm in Illinois, Midwest. I am your Windy City Garu, Windy City Gaijin veteran Garu. Been doing this street fashion since 2007. Made events, worked with a Japanese fashion brand in Los Angeles a couple of times, blogs, stuff like that. To working with businesses as well. Kind of not really full with my blog. Model with an Italian bridal company. I was in the Macy's bridal show, wearing a very beautiful ball gown that was about $3,000. I've done that. How about Arabian style? I've never personally worn it before. Oh, I should try it. Mm, I'll think about it. Maybe I should have like an Amazon wish list of some things and just like, all right, oh, well, gotta do it now type of a thing. Um, let's see. Let's see, this is June 19th, and I only have how many blog posts for June? I know my TikToks are a little bit more frequent. All right. WCG trend alert. Antidepressants are useless. Does it have the time stamp on it? Rotozi Japanese eye drops. Oh, it's there. Okay, I see it now. And that was me. So I have 3 blog posts for June so far. Mm. Pardon me. Definitely need more. Ask me what? Let's see. Do I pull up my calendar? That's not my calendar. One more blog post for this week, and hopefully 2 more next week. Get some more long videos up. Put up this collab interview that I did. Have a new fashion interview for 2025. Hey, hey, hey. So I'm gonna pop a short clip of that on my blog and YouTube so you all can see who named me. Alicia is a nickname. Alicia Misha is a nickname. And only a few people know where I got this nickname from. "秘密だよ." だけど、少し人が知ってる? Only a few people know, but it's a secret. Hi, ちょっと、日本語ができますですけど、私のレベルは本当に低いですけど、たくさん漢字知ってないし、本当に難しい文法が知ってないし、この部分が、少ない練習しませんでした。I know a little bit, but I'm not fluent. Things with like knowing lots of kanji. Apparently, like to have a fluent level of Japanese, you have to know about 2,000 kanji. And those meanings change when they're paired up with different kanji. Um, and very difficult sentence structures are like grammar points. Still a little tough. I haven't really been practicing because I had to study um, in 2023, if I'm not mistaken. For that summer, I took a Spanish class. I invested that summer into learning basics of Spanish. So I put my Japanese studies on the back burner because I was meeting a lot of Spanish guests and I wanted to at least like kind of communicate. My Spanish level is really, really, really low. But I was like, yes, I will pay for the basics of Spanish class and then take eventually Spanish 1, Spanish 2, just to get that up a little bit higher. Um, so my sentences don't suck. With Japanese, I do know more words. I can type it. I used to write it because of class. Um, but since nobody writes letters these days, everything is typed. So some things like I struggle with writing it because I'm not doing that every day. But I can kind of get the gist of things. I can understand songs a little bit better in Japanese. Um, things like that. It's one of my hobbies. Oh, thank you. That's sweet of you, Caesar. Yes, Japanese is one of the most difficult languages. It's up there with German and I think Russian. I think it's like level 5 for difficulty. I did not know that when I was a little kid, thinking, wow, I'm going to learn Japanese. Um, it's been a long road, but I do need to be practicing a lot more and stuff. So grammar in Japanese like English. Japanese grammar is backwards. So if I were to say like I have a cat, it'll be cat I have or cat have. And the implied meaning is somebody, more so myself, has a cat. So that'll be I have a cat is neko ga iru. I can't use neko ga arimasu or aru because aru is for inanimate objects. Like I could say baru pen ga aru because it's not alive. Demo 猫とか動物がいるのはいるを使います. I'll have to use a different verb to have for that. And I'm sure there's probably a whole nother verb to like own a pet. So it's like backwards. So like I have a cat. Have do I have like a little cat? I do have a little stuffy, but it's all the way over there. I'll say like a rabbit. So rabbit is usagi, kind of like the Sailor Moon girl. So I have a rabbit. I being the subject, have being the verb, a being a particle, rabbit being the uh, thing that you have, the noun. So usagi, um, usagi ga iru, rabbit, particle, have to have. Have good knowledge in life. Oh, thank you. Just a little bit, just a little bit. It makes you dizzy. どうして大丈夫じゃない? Yeah, I love language. Gosh, if my job wasn't so difficult, like of course that's kind of an excuse. I can always like make time, right? Um, I do still listen to Japanese music. If I come across a TikTok, I try to like listen to it and understand. But I should be like practicing my words, practicing my kanji, practice like writing it out so I'll see it and get that meaning and stuff. But I also want to do that with Spanish too. But also, Spanish is hard. I took my basics class, right? And I was like, oh, I can read Spanish, It's not in like any different characters or whatever. And it got to the verb part, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna learn all these verbs to walk, to go, to eat, to dance, to I don't know, look something, to write. But the thing with Spanish is how we have like you, me, they, them, us, we, you all, he, she, whatever type of thing. They have that. It's similar to French, but all of the verbs change depending on who you're talking about. And that's just for the basic, like, I look, he looks, she looks, they look, we all look, they all look. Um, all of that is different for every verb. Whereas in Japanese, if I were to say like I, he, they, we all look, it's just miru, watashi, 私が見る、彼女が見る、彼女は見る、彼が見る、あの人, that person over there, が見る, and that's it. But Spanish, there's so many forms, and I wasn't expecting that. Like I know like hablas, hablos, but I didn't know it was for like every one of them. Um, so that humbled me. That part, I was like, okay, well, I gotta take my time with Spanish. Spanish is awesome, yes. I am surrounded by Spanish speakers. They also speak kind of fast. And I eavesdrop and I'm like, oh, can I listen? Like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, I don't understand anything, but okay. Me, my age, I am an adult. Yes. Yeah, Spanish is a little tough. So like where I'm at, it is so, 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 so basic that like probably children know better Spanish than I do. Um, it is excruciatingly basic. It is so simplistic, but I'm glad that I took that basics class and I do want to further it a lot more. But I do know that I need to practice it and not get in my head about like, oh no, like I can't say this, I can't say that just yet. So, in due time. I think you're next. See, okay, is this why TikTok stopped me from going live? Because they told me that I couldn't do lives anymore because they couldn't verify my age. I'm not 19. We'll say this. I can vote, I can drive, I can people call me a MILF, even though I don't have kids. I'll say this, my YouTube channel is 16 years old. Where am I from? Also, welcome, Seek. Welcome to the channel. I am from Chicago, Shibuya, Miami. It's Miami season. The Windy City, Siberia, when it is cold. It is very cold outside and there is snow on the ground. Shibuya for all of the J fashion meets. Miami when we go to the beaches. Um, Chirac is a little played out. Trying to make Chicago cool again. You're 37? Okay, you're older than me. You're from Ninja? What does that mean? Yeah, I need to get on my Spanish and my English. Ninja? Nigeria. Oh, welcome. Oh no, Habari. Nigerians don't speak Swahili, I don't think. Habari is hello, right? No, what is it? Mimi Habari Lisha, I think. Let me double check that because I got bored during the pandemic. Swahili, hello. Habari, yes, I remember, but I don't think Nigerians speak Swahili. Sa Yoruba, Igbo, Fufude, Ibibio, Kanuri, and Tiv. Oh, and there's Nigerian Sign Language. Oh, right. I didn't advertise that I was live because I wanted to test YouTube lives compared to TikTok lives. Like, I don't think people get notifications on YouTube, but then like that would compete with when like if you subscribe to somebody and you get notifications for their videos and such. Um, but you would think that if you sign up to see a YouTuber, subscribe to them, that you'd want to participate in their lives. Mm. Oh, thank you. Isoko. Oh, yeah, definitely don't learn about a lot of those in school. Like, for African language, we usually hear Swahili, not including French, because that's a colonizer's language, even though I'm speaking English right now. Swahili and sometimes Igbo. That's a Blue Outlaw. Welcome back. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the likes. And if you're driving, you better be driving safely. Don't want to mom you, but I know I think there was a no touch law for drivers and such recently. Yeah, so much to learn, even if it's just like on that slight superficial level. Like I feel like I've seen Yoruba before, but in like a different context. But I've never heard of Isoko. I've never heard of Tiv and Hausa. But with America trying to just push English on people, which I think is super lame because a lot of other places in the world, like knowing two or three languages is just the standard. While we have people here who can barely speak English, and I'm not just talking about like people who are of color. So it makes it a interesting point as how of life in the United States. How's life or love life? Because I can't tell you that. Um, Life is interesting. It depends on definitely how much you make. And since America is founded on some interesting principles from when people decided to come here and make this place their own, that that dictates a lot of social, dating, interpersonal, corporate, business dynamics. People might say that we bring up certain things a lot, but that's just what our life is over here. Um, that, maybe y'all are probably like, wow, we can talk about languages or all this stuff here, but um, there's people who feel that someone that looks like me should only fit a certain stereotype, that my English shouldn't be that good. Why am I learning Spanish? Why did I study French? Why am I learning Japanese? Why do I know a little bit of this or a little bit of that over there? Why am I not being like a stereotypical Black American person, which sucks? Um, have people being amazed if I like, oh, lehoma, like hello in Cantonese or whatever, and they're like, oh my gosh, and it's like, well, Black people aren't stupid. Like Black people were inventors, Black people were surgeons, like many years ago. It's not a current thing. Um, if you have more wealth, and definitely get better neighborhoods. If you struggling, you might have to have roommates. Prices are steadily increasing over here. There's just a lot that is not created for people to fully enjoy America without the added stress, especially with certain events having unfolded, with who's in our White House and everything. So, excuse me. It's definitely interesting. And I can only imagine that it's going to get worse because when costs of things are rising, rent, food, basic life things that you need besides fun and like concerts and stuff, people are going to get agitated. People are going to be more hostile. When people don't know how to channel that energy, it's just going to cause more negativity in interpersonal relationships, friendships, coworkers, and stuff like that. Um, Depending on how that person expresses their anger and their frustration, let alone anything else going on in life, people can get violent. So things are just going to get more violent. Things are just going to get a lot more uneasy um, as people are made to feel like they aren't thriving, that they're struggling to survive and like get through each day. Um, People need medications. People need, like all of this stuff. So, um, it's a lot to think about. Missing love. We all need love. I have not been to Africa. I have not been out of the United States, unfortunately. Yeah. Yeah, it's quite well interesting here in America because there's people who don't want to take in consideration that like racism still runs our lives, even in a big city like Chicago. Um, it's just really ingrained in the fabric of our society here. even for work and stuff like that. How many? I'm not quite sure what you mean. How many languages do I know? Um, I can kind of stumble decently with Japanese because I did take that in college uh, for about a year and a half, and I've done my best to keep up with it a lot more. I've taken French for 2 years, um, but I have not used that since like before 2008. Um, I know like a couple of words in Cantonese, like some bases. I had Cantonese friends in high school. I know a couple of like Korean words because I used to like watch old school K-pop and like old school Korean dramas and stuff back in the day. Um, Learning Spanish, but it's not at the level of my Japanese is, and I wish that it was because at least like I feel a little bit more confident like speaking it and using it than just like, oh, that's cool. Oh, um, sorry, sir. You like the shirt? Um, I just need to like dedicate more time and putting the energy to like speaking it constantly. Because if I'm not speaking it, I'm not going to get like the muscle memory and that habit. So like it comes quicker. So definitely got to work on that a little bit better. I wish these contacts are from Korea. And eventually there is something from Africa that I definitely want to get. I think I've had like African shea butter before, but there's something that I've seen pop up on TikTok that, oh gosh, I need to make sure that I like write that down so I don't like forget it. Like if TikTok is going to be gone, then like how am I going to learn about new stuff? And like all these American people have used to push this agenda that like China is so strict and their censorship laws and stuff like that, but America's doing the same thing because they don't like people like seeing what's actually going down, like with our government and things like that. Uh, because the less hold you have on people, the more the information spreads. And like when people start allowing themselves to be like, wait, maybe I was wrong about something, things get a little wonky. I would not be answering questions about my marital status. I'll answer questions about my work, about my paintings, about my blog. I need to write a new fashion blog post. What do I do for a living? I have a full time job right now. And on top of that, not necessarily like a job. I mean, I've gotten freelance opportunities from it, like being a model at Macy's and things like that. I blog, I YouTube, more or less like a bit of advocacy with that than just fashion. Like, oh, let's dress crazy and wild and wear, crazy contacts and everything. Um, I talk about um, how to not dox yourself when it comes to getting jobs. Um, that uh, people can use what you have on your resume to do anything with that. And they know where you work, where you used to work. If you put down who your manager is and everything, and they can go in and copy that information for themselves, or worse, put a wedge through you and your manager's relationship, professional relationship. And you will have that relationship, that bridge burned, and you can't even use them as a reference. Or if you do, they now know where you work and they may hate you. And now that's another job that is tainted. So I make blog posts about that as well. Um, I've done art, I've sold art and commissions. Um, and I used to do like a little bit of modeling and stuff too. I'm, I'm, I'm a Black American who likes J fashion. 日本人じゃない. I'm not Japanese. I like Japanese fashion. I like the aesthetics of Japanese fashion. But yeah, that's what I like to do. Art, writing blog posts and such, selling art, things like that. But I do have like a normal day job too. Pays the bills in the in between of freelancing. And also like doing work that may not get like donor or like sponsorship backing because it is heavier stuff. Um, and like it'll be nice. Some things like some advertisements and stuff like they don't work with certain topics like at all. So that does make things hard. But um I do like to find businesses that have a good mission or have like good core values. Um, learn from those values, set the bar high to like work towards those standards and everything, bring in my own perspectives and stuff, and help fund everything else in the meantime for my like little side projects and such. In Jordan, I don't know what the ratio is for that. Let's see. Like I've heard of the place before. Oh gosh, they Nike popped up. It's not the Jordan that I wanted. I am Googling it. Oh, so bossy. There's some like nice images. Some of the historical places, they look like religious sites. A lot of fashion. I would have imagined it would be like modest. I'm getting like lots of mixed images of like more so like sports fashion and stuff. Are there a need for fashion? Um, I'd rather err on the side of caution, especially if it is it seems like it's a more conservative place. Ooh, I don't think I've heard of this until now. Um, that seems interesting. It's something to think about. Oh, they know you're an American. Well, that definitely seems like quite the business collab. Um, as a person who works through contracts and such, I'd rather do a contract first and have that looked over by a legal team before proceeding forward. I would rather see your credentials first and foremost. Oh, it is almost 3 o'clock. I am going to start my night routine. So you will send some company site that is interested in contact with you. That is interesting. I would rather do my research first and foremost, run it by some other professional people before saying yes to something that I don't know about. All right, so there's 7 minutes till 3 a.m. here in Chicago. I'm going to start my night routine, refresh my face after a long day, do all my other night routine things like a bit of stretching, a bit of weightlifting, and everything. Make sure I get in some water before I sleep. Do check out the blog, do subscribe, do comment and share the videos that I have. I have about 300 plus videos on my YouTube now. Short videos, long videos, funny, and some serious. If you like written content, I do have a blog with articles on there, some personal, some discussions, and some a little bit more lighthearted. It was nice chatting with you, and I'll see you on the next live. Have a good night.